Can you hear me? Can both of you hear me properly?
Yes, sir. Good morning,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Good morning. Good morning. So, Viraj, quickly going through your DAF, Pune, and this again, whatever I start by saying this always in one-to-one, that I believe that in the past 1 month, 2 months, you must have already uh, very closely gone through your DAF once again and again, for culling out what kind of questions can be asked. Pune, I mean, as your native city, that is likely to give rise to so many questions of different kinds: historical, political, social, mythological, economic. You name the field, and somebody can ask a question on Pune. So you be very, very comprehensive about your knowledge about the city. Your father is a headmaster and mother is a teacher. Now, both of your parents being in teaching profession, I do believe that you must have thought about that. Questions on education system, including the new education policy, challenges and problems being faced by educators. Where do we stand in different kinds of surveys which are conducted? ESSER survey, Pratham. What is Pratham? What survey? ESSER survey. What are the latest results? Whatever, because you are an engineer also. So these QR rankings, are of various universities and engineering colleges, medical colleges. What are they? What are your views on the efficacy and relevance of those rankings? Then, from the student's perspective, because education is very closely related to employment. So, what are the gaps? Why it is so that despite the so many education institutions coming up, we are still having, on the other hand, the huge problem of unemployment. What are your suggestions in this regard? What are the gaps? How these gaps can be filled up? How we can make education more employment oriented? All these things. One can keep talking on and on about the questions which may arise in the education field, which is likely area because of your both parents being in that vocation. You have done your BTech in civil engineering recently with a very high CGPA of 8.69, just 2 years back, 3 years back, and you have also worked as immediately after your graduation, you have worked as a trainee also. So obviously the question comes up that why have you left there? What has been your experience? Why have you left the job? And most importantly, what is the scope or gambit, gamut for which a mechanical engineer can opt for in private sector, in public sector today. Why we are now mechanical engineering? And that is true for you also, Prashant, because you also have done your mechanical engineering.
Yes, sir.
मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग पर जो हमने पहले ही बात की थी, प्रशांत, you will recall that उस तरह के sometimes questions of, although not many on many occasions, but then somebody may ask questions of this type: who was the first mechanical engineer? There's that. But to my mind, the better questions and more likely questions will be why we are producing so many mechanical engineers. Two of you are sitting there before me, but still the manufacturing sector is able to employ only 14-15% of India's workforce. After all, mechanical engineering is supposed to be the prime mover of manufacturing. So, एक झटके में वो मैकेनिकल से, क्या हमारी पढ़ाई में कोई गलती है, या हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज जो है उनमें कुछ और दूसरे स्ट्रक्चरल फैक्टर्स हैं? So how far do you think that yes, this supply or rather oversupply of mechanical engineers, why it has not been able to solve the some kind of manufacturing revolution? Right. Just one example. Otherwise, इसमें generally कई बार वो सवाल उस तरह के आते ही हैं कि भाई why mechanical engineering? As I said, who was the first engineer and what is the status of mechanical engineering among other? It's supposed to be the oldest engineering, of course, but then how it has got changed over a period of time. What kind of changes have been brought in through automation, through robotics, through artificial intelligence. So, अगर तुमने Prashant, you have of course completed your graduation 6-7 years back. In your case, Viraj, it is a relatively recent degree. But both of you have to be, not you have. The last time you said, Prashant, that they asked you questions, typical of mechanical engineering. Because I saw today in your DAP that you have worked for around 1 year as a tutor. So perhaps that might have been one reason, because you have been a tutor of thermodynamics. I mean, that means that you have the caliber of teaching, as well as it would be expected that your domain knowledge about mechanical engineering is not as rusted as it would be for somebody else who has just did the degree and not taken any further interest in teaching or learning. So हो सकता है तुमसे उन्होंने इसलिए पूछे हो मैकेनिकल का सब। तुमने इस बार भी थर्मोडायनामिक्स ट्यूटर लिखा है, तो मैं ये आई सजेस्ट that day I remember I took the example of thermodynamics itself. Yes. I in fact asked that okay, nobody is going to ask this third law of thermodynamics from you, but it can definitely be asked to you. अगर तुमने thermodynamics ट्यूटर अपने आप को लिखा हुआ है, तो obviously they will ask this simple question, भाई क्या है, what is Zero's law of thermodynamics, right? So things like that. And not only thermodynamics, you be ready for some conceptual, not very detailed equation solve करने को कोई नहीं कहेगा, या कोई मॉडल डिस्क्राइब करने को नहीं कहेगा, but then जो conceptual चीजें हैं मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग की जो तुमने 4 साल में पढ़ी है, you must have a better command. Viraj, the same actually goes to you, is valid for you also, but for different reasons. Because Prashant here has been a tutor, so that is why these questions of core mechanical engineering may be asked. And in your case, you are a recent graduate. And secondly, you have, although for a short period of 4 months, but you have worked as an engineer trainee. So your knowledge has to be equally updated on mechanical engineering aspects. One thing which
sir, I am actually, sorry sir to interrupt. I am actually civil engineer.
अच्छा, okay. BTech civil. Okay. Fine. I stand corrected so far as the mechanical engineering suggestions were there in your respect. But again, the fact remains that you are a recent civil engineering graduate. So, बात वही आ जाती है कि you have worked again, so that logic works still. Your knowledge about civil engineering concepts, core concepts at least, that can be tested. जो 6 साल 7 साल पहले करके आया है, and unlike Prashant, he has not been working as a tutor for 1 year, so he can very easily say, "साहब ऐसा है, मैंने engineering करी छोड़ दी. That was a basic degree to enhance my capabilities." I'm sorry, even on the simplest question of mechanical engineering core concepts, you can say, "Sorry, sir, I don't." But in your case again, because you have worked there just 2 years back, so please don't be surprised if some questions of civil engineering, even including the conceptual, concept portion, can be asked. Again, as I said earlier, nobody will ask you unless there is a civil engineer himself in the board, luckily or unluckily for you. He may go into the details, but otherwise they will ask, like I have done my electronics engineering. So what I will ask is like a general question of general engineering, which is common to all disciplines, or maybe because of my superficial knowledge of civil engineering. So be ready for both these eventualities. Not continuing that private job. Why did you leave it? I said that that can be one area, and what have you learned from that? And maybe in a general way, because nobody will be interested in this, that तुमने छोड़ क्यों दिया? पूछ लेंगे. But then, okay, छोड़ दिया, that is your choice. You can always say, I was preparing for the exams. But that leads to the, okay, what has been your experience in those 4 months? What are the issues which you think that, हमने बात किया manufacturing sector, your macro tech, what is the macro tech developers, right? This macro tech developers that represents so many it must be one of the MSMEs, right? So इस तरह की enterprises जो हैं in your 4 months, what structural constraints you observed which are prohibiting the growth of this sector despite so many incentives which the government is providing? You have to be clear about the incentives also. These schemes जो चला रहे हैं MCME की, note की, schemes की. But why it is not happening? Because you have got the first-hand experience to work, having worked there in recent past. जिसने 15 साल पहले काम किया हो, कह सकता है मेरे को साथ तो outdated हो गया, but you have worked there for 4 months as a trainee. So what have you observed, right? Maybe all these questions you might have already thought of, but I'm just on the base of your DAF. Now this is your first shot at CAPF, right, Viraj? First time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And your DAF says that you have filled up the forms of civil service prelims twice but did not appear.
Sir, it is actually repeated. It's just 2023. I did not appear because of my.
Mentioned twice. The year has been mentioned twice. But why did you not appear?
Sir.
Some clash with examinations or what?
Yes, sir. My end sem was clashing with the exams.
That happens because 2023 you must be in the final year of your engineering, so it might have clashed. But
yes,
this question will not be asked, but because you are having a conversation right now, it is not a mock interview or any kind of this thing. Tell me, why did you not appear in the civil services or even CAPF during 2024, 2020? I mean, you dropped for 1 year. 2025 you appeared, that is why you are in this interview. बीच में क्यों एक साल तुमने क्यों नहीं दिया?
Sir, actually in 2025 I have given a CSE attempt, but I have mentioned also in the DAF, but that did not got represented in an application form.
So you have appeared in which one? Prelims or civil services? I mean, this CS prelims or CAPF?
Civil services prelims, sir, 2025.
2025. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Then coming to your Viraj, coming to your hobbies and areas of interest and your achievements, there are some issues here. Okay, I'm just flagging them. That there can be some tricky questions on that. Debate is fine, but drawing. You have mentioned that elementary, as a civil engineer, you are supposed to be a expert in drawing of plan, elevation, and all that. So drawing exam में तुमने ये भी नहीं लिखा. You have mentioned it in that column of achievement, I think. What have you achieved in that elementary drawing examination? That must be part of your curriculum. Civil engineering की पढ़ाई में किया होगा ना. And then you are also mentioning that it is my hobby, drawing में. So as a civil engineer, having a hobby of drawing, does it make much sense? I mean, I'm asking you a very blunt manner. Tell me that. How are you going to justify this hobby, which is actually part of your curriculum, which has been a part of your curriculum? Think over it. Think over it. Right. We are not discussing the answers right now. Then environment club, you have been the chair, president or something, but where? You have not mentioned. At what level? So that gives me an idea. That gives the board idea कि तुम कक्षा 10 में थे, 12 में वहाँ पे इसमें थे environment club में, or you did it in college or wherever. And what were the achievements? More than being the president of the environment club, what have you done? That is what matters. You have captained football and cricket teams at college. College means what? Engineering college?
Yes, sir. Degree.
Okay. अब अगर देखो नॉर्मली अगर लिखा होता कि भाई माय हॉबी इज प्लेइंग क्रिकेट और माय हॉबी इज माय आई प्ले फुटबॉल, बट बीइंग अ कैप्टन दैट पुट्स ए काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंट स्पिन इट ओवर इट. तो अब इसमें तुम्हें इन दोनों गेम्स के लिए तैयार रहना पड़ेगा. एंड आई डू बिलीव दैट यस यू हैव बीन एक्चुअली कैप्टन ऑफ दोस टीम्स एट कॉलेज लेवल. दोनों के कॉलेज में थे, फुटबॉल के भी क्रिकेट के भी.
यस सर.
फुटबॉल एंड क्रिकेट आर डिफरेंट गेम्स यार. हाउ कैन देयर बी अ सिंगल कैप्टन फॉर बोथ ऑफ देम? ये सही बात है एक्चुअली. या तो मतलब बिल्कुल बच्चों वाली टीम थी क्या?
नहीं सर.
Face of it, there is something slightly which has been taken with a pinch of salt.
No sir, actually I am quite good in both sports.
Okay. So you have to
try to both.
See, इस तरह की बातें होती हैं 25 मिनट में. The way I am talking maybe in a more informal manner, but normally they always say that the board there, if that is a good board actually, then they will try to make you comfortable and try to elicit your views on such small things which keep the conversation flowing. There is the idea is not in finding fault in this कि भाई ये तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो तुमने दोनों के. Rather, I am interested in knowing this. That how can be a good footballer as well as a good cricket player at the same time? Obviously, देखो अगर तुम बहुत पुराना देखो, I mean, if you think from my generation side, what was that? So some digress कर रहे हैं, but you must know there was a saying, right? Hockey by practice, football by power. Hockey by practice, football by power, badminton by dance, and cricket by badminton by dance and cricket by chance. Hockey by practice, football by power, badminton by dance and cricket by chance. तो वो तो क्रिकेट इज लाइक ए जेंटलमैन्स गेम एटलीस्ट. अब आईपीएल के जमाने में नहीं, बट एट दैट टाइम इट वाज लाइक यू वेरी लेजरली अपना करो. फुटबॉल ऑन द अदर हैंड दैट रिक्वायर्स रॉ पावर. क्रिकेट इज ऑलवेज बीन ए जेंटलमैन्स गेम, राइट? तो फुटबॉल बिल्कुल बड़ी, उसमें आप जो है लसपस हो रहे हैं. कैप्टनिंग बोथ टीम, इनफैक्ट अगर हम इसकी बात ही इतनी डिटेल में कर रहे हैं तो नॉट ओनली स्किल्स is one part of that. In fact, maybe question आएगा perhaps football के लिए, perhaps obviously we need your body has been talking here. Perhaps Prashant can be a good football player, but cricket में you need techniques, like you have to have the, if you're a bowler or you're a batsman, then you need wrist work and those things, footwork. Skills का difference भी हुआ, body construction का difference होता है, और सबसे बड़ी बात mindset का difference. Football के captain का mindset and that too of captain. If you're common as a player, then it is again different. But captaining a football team and captaining a cricket team, that will require, to my mind, a different kind of mindset. So enough discussion on this point, but please keep that in mind. That such things, they open up the scope of conversation. So sketching drawing का देख लेना. You are showing sketching drawing as your habit, and as a civil engineer, you are supposed to be a master sketcher, master drawing expert. Finally, ये animal movies क्या होती हैं? सोच के लिखा है, कैसे लिखी है? Animal movies and animal documentaries. What is an animal movie? How is it different from a human being's movie?
Sir, just like a Kung Fu Panda movie, where the animal is portrayed as a protagonist and antagonist.
Why do you like them? Why do you like them especially?
Sir, because it shows their unique character. Apart from normal movies, there is a human nature or a human conversation. The animal movies portray different.
Which channel or which OTT platform you use for watching such animal movies?
So there are multiple. Netflix, Disney Plus, Hotstar, both produce good quality movies.
The good old National Geographic channel that has?
Yes sir, for documentaries.
What do you, again, because this is related with that which I have been repeating for the past 3-4 days, that every hobby which you mentioned here, that is the basic purpose behind asking your hobby is, they won't ask you that what food do you like. UPSC therefore does not have that column. But hobby का मतलब ये है कि आपकी अपनी, how are you making yourself a better human being, better person. So tell me that. वो क्रिकेट का या फुटबॉल का या कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स या फिजिकल लिफ्टिंग करते हैं तो प्रशांत, lot of automatically qualities they come. But watching animal movies and documentaries, how does it make you a better Viraj?
Sir, because it gives me qualities and in a low time when I am depressed or having a low time, at that time I watch these animal movies or documentaries. Because sir, animals have quite unique characteristics. They know the knowledge or they have the idea how to survive in difficult situations.
Yeah, you have worked on that, I can see. शुरू में तुमने थोड़ा सा इतनी relevant बात नहीं की थी, but this is one of the very relevant points that yes, there is a lot we can learn from animals as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And different kinds of animals. So yes, that can be one. Work on this point also. So that is about your DAF, Viraj. Now, tell me that what anxieties, what doubts, what queries you have in your mind.
Sir, actually, I have one query. Sir, whether the board will ask me whether you will go for a CAC after a CAPF, getting selected in a CAPF. So
go for
CAC, civil services, after a CAPF. So in that question, sir, should I be 100% honest that yes, I will go for a CAC after a CAPF?
Yes. Honest word you have used. Honesty is the best policy. इतना पुराना ये idiom है, saying है, but that is the most important thing to be remembered in the UPSC interview. किसी आपके ये तो चलो एक बात हो गई कि whether you will opt for still go for CAPF if you are selected there, and there are very clear answers for that. But किसी भी सवाल के जवाब में ये कहीं पर भी dishonesty आपके एक भी शब्द से should not come up. That's in general. In particular about this aspect is why not? You have to justify that how civil services scopes are broader as compared to CAPF assistant commandants. CAPF assistant commandant or the regular job in CAPF at whatever rank, they are very, very important and significant. There is no doubt about that. But when we think in terms of civil services and each one of them, because there is not one civil service, There are so many of them. Their job is, and it is up to you to work out that how you must have prepared for that also. उनका गैमेट, उनका जो स्कोप वो आपको दिखाना है कि बेटर, तो इसलिए मैं उस पर जाता हूँ, so that whatever energy, whatever talent, whatever expertise I have got, that I can use for the benefit of the country in a much larger way, right? So take it up front. They can't say that nobody can argue that नहीं IAS का या IPS का जो है वो कम है स्कोप और CAPF का ज्यादा वर्क स्कोप या I don't go for any other kind of comparisons. Don't think in terms of your life and all that. वो सब अलग चीज है. But the nature of work itself, right? Civil services का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं. There are 25-30 services, but सबसे पहले तो आदमी Indian administrative service को पढ़ता है. So you think of that. Yes, I am preparing in the civil services pre because I want to be an IAS officer. And as an IAS officer, भाई आगे तुम्हारे ऊपर रहती है उसमें क्या क्या चीजें होती हैं. So इसका बड़ा clear answer है, बिल्कुल honest answer. और what else?
Sir, my second question is that as you mentioned, I left the job after just 4 months.
Yeah.
So will it portray?
Yeah. Yeah.
So will it portray me in a negative manner that why did I left that job?
As I said कि मैंने जब आपसे पहले डिस्कस कर रहे थे, मैंने कहा ना nobody is interested in this that why did you leave the job after 4 months as such. क्योंकि आपके बड़े सारे considerations हो सकते हैं. In your case, the consideration is that you are preparing for competitive examination. Somebody may say that I didn't like the job over there. Even as mundane, as earthly thing as कि वहाँ पे salary अच्छी नहीं थी, जितना मैं घंटे काम कर रहा था. I mean, this thing is not being spoken there. I'm just telling you on a reality background. This thing. There can be so many reasons of leaving the job. भाई मैं वहाँ पे 10 घंटे काम करा रहे थे और they were giving me 35,000. I left the job. Right? So everybody understands that. What they will be more interested in, what they will be really interested in is what I said earlier. कि आपने उस 4 महीने में क्या सीखा? 4 महीने बाद छोड़ा is not important. 4 महीने में क्या सीखा and how do you correlate that learning of yours? क्योंकि ये भी बात है. In reality, अगर आप बहुत honest हो गए, आप कहोगे जी मैं हो सकता है कि may have been to your case, आप गए वहाँ पर टाइम पास किया, वापस आ गए. But that is something, even if you have done, that is something which if you can't expect it to be thrown to the moon. अगर आपने 4 महीने काम किया है तो there must be something which you have learned. You have come out with some positive, some understanding of the working of the private sector. And in the process, as I said earlier, the constraints, the problems, the challenges which they are facing, relating it with the overall scenario of manufacturing sector, MSMEs in general, what is taking us behind. So think of that as an experience gained, not on this कि मैंने छोड़ दूँ, ठीक है ना? छोड़ दिए का अगर पूछता ही है कोई, हालांकि कम चांस है, you can always say that yes sir, मैंने 23 December में छोड़ा because my prelims were coming up in 24 April. I wanted to put my best foot forward in that competition, right? What else?
No sir, please do not.
अच्छा, एक जब मैं okay, your queries are finished. एक मैं जब तुम्हारा DAF फिर से देख रहा हूँ तो this strikes me one point I left inadvertently regarding your preferences. You have put, of course, CISF as the first preference, SSB as the second, and ITBP as fifth.
Yes.
So there is a little bit of dichotomy here. SSB and ITBP, except for the height of the deployment, altitude of deployment, they do the same job. Yes, China border and Nepal border, China border is 10,000 feet plus, Nepal border is somewhere higher, somewhere high altitude, somewhere not. Why this difference? I mean, just is the offbeat question, but they may ask you to justify that why SSB at number 2, even before CRPF, even before ITBP, and why even before DSF, and why ITBP at the last. Think over it. You may have your own reasons for that, right? So that is that, and wish you all the very best, Viraj. And
thank you, sir.
Coming to Prashant. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Prashant, you come from Rajasthan, but what is this?
Yes, sir.
What is this? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is this place? Fort Qasim? Is it the district?
No, sir. It's my hometown, city.
But एक city is fine, but जिला क्या है? District क्या है? District का कॉलम इसमें DAF में होता है कि नहीं?
Sir, it's been in the DAP. However, my district has been changed from Alwar to Khairtal Tijara. And on the site, there was no option of choosing Khairtal Tijara because like new district were created recently. Na?
Okay, simply अलवर से क्या चेंज होकर नया जिला क्या बन गया?
खैरतल तिजारा सर, तिजारा.
Tijara?
Yes sir, Khairtal Tijara is becoming the new district.
It's a regular district now.
Yeah, it's a regular district now,
and
but however
Port Qasim happens to be in this.
Yes sir.
That is interesting. चलो कोई बात नहीं. अब ये मेरी तरफ मैंने my habit is that I go through the DAF very with a microscope. So I saw that. So maybe if this comes up, that's a good talking point because that will lead naturally to this. कि ये तिजारा में ऐसी क्या खास बात है? At least I have not heard the name. What is the background of it being created as a new district? Why it has been separated from Alwar? Was there some old demand coming up? तो सारा background उसका तुम्हें पता ही होगा.
Yes.
We are skipping that portion of your 2019 mechanical engineering. We have discussed a lot about that today also and earlier as well.
Yes.
Your preference. Preference ये विराज का मुझसे मिस हो गया था. Preference. Yes. BSF first. So one presumes that Rajasthan angle is there.
No sir. No sir. My angle is very different sir. I try to put border guarding forces above all because I feel that if border security can be protected then
अब ये so skating on thin ice here. कोई बात ऐसी नहीं कहनी चाहिए. कहीं से भी आपके दूर दूर तक उसमें DAF है नहीं, but your DAF says this. If you say that, because I have noted down that also, and again it varies from one member to another member of the board. Somebody may not do that much of homework, but तुम अगर border guarding को अपना passion बता रहे हो और उससे justify कर रहे हो BSF को number 1 पे, तो why ITBP is number 5?
Sir, from childhood I had some fear of height. That's why ITBP. But I have worked on it, sir, and I am ready to join ITBP also.
Yeah, once a fearful person, always a fearful person. तुम अगर इतने डर रहे हो हाइट से, तो कल को मान लो अगर BSF में ही या कहीं पर CRPF में डिप्लॉयमेंट तुम्हारा हो गया J&K में, हाँ, CRPF is your second choice, right?
Yes, sir.
CRPF,
no, sir. SSB is my second choice. CRPF is third choice.
Yeah, SSB is your second choice. CRPF third. Supposing you get CRPF and got deployed in some higher reaches of Himalayas in क्या वो है Doda, I mean those border places, हाँ, Doda, Bhadarwa, Kishtwar, which are like on the height, or in Jammu area.
Yes.
So ये height से डर वाली बात जो है, I would not really suggest it to say that.
Yes.
क्योंकि ऐसे खैर honesty वाली बात मैंने बोला, but then again honesty means what? Honesty means that whatever negatives in your personality is there, but keep it at for the very last. हाँ, अगर ITBP का, you can always say ITBP is you belong to Rajasthan or कहाँ तुम्हारा native place तो कोट कासिम.
Yes sir, I am from Rajasthan only. Koट कासिम is just a city in Rajasthan. Sir.
So मैंने तो जो presumption ली, तो can you not modulate? I mean, it may be like putting some ऊपर से cake पर icing. Rajasthan, of course. I mean, Koot Qasim is how far from the international border?
Sir, it's way far away. It's like I am on Haryana border.
Alwar तो काफी अंदर है.
Haryana border.
But even then, Rajasthan has been at the forefront of 1965, 1971 wars also. Border guarding is a big thing in Rajasthan. It's a border state anyway. So just think about it if you are comfortable and if you want to include this, because being from Rajasthan, putting BSF on first choice, the first thing, in fact, as a police officer, which came to my mind was this one. ये लड़का राजस्थान का है, that is why he is interested in BSF. So that can be a good answer, but think over it. If you are, yourself convinced, then only you do. But certainly not that fear of heights pushing ITBP to number 5. That is just not done. Then, and particularly because you related with border guarding. Border guarding आपको करनी है, तो you can't be choosy and selective कि मैं साहब यही करूँगा border ये नहीं करूँगा. Right? Whatever may be your fear, border guarding means you have to be, if that is really your passion. Pakistan and China attacks us crossing border, that is acceptable to you, but not Pakistan. That is not possible. Thermodynamics, Twitter, and what kind of questions, because they have been there for almost 1.5 years.
Yes, sir.
So that is likely to give rise to the questions, to fundamental questions from mechanical engineering. Please be very clear about that. And for 1 year you have worked as entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
That is just after your graduation. So you have not mentioned that what it was all about. Open-ended type का है. Open-ended का ये होता है ना, देखो डेप्थ लोगों ने भर दिया है. Open-ended चीजें जहाँ तक वो देनी नहीं चाहिए, but अगर दे दी है, तो then you be ready for all kinds of supplementary questions. What entrepreneurship? What did you do? What were your earnings like? Then your experiences, and again, ज्यादा तुम्हारी बात, तुम्हारा क्या वो है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में फैक्ट्स. See, there are always three types of questions. What, why, and then third को हम कह सकते हैं कि what about the relationships with others, external words. तो what is like बेसिक चीजें कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे आप क्या कर रहे थे, कैसे है, भाई तुम्हारे उस पर विराज एप्लीकेबल है वो अपने वर्क एक्सपीरियंस पर भी. Second is why you are doing that, and finally, which is more important, is people may skip to this third portion in the beginning itself, that आपके उस limited experience से larger issues कैसे connected है. UPSC का interview, that is always, they try to take you toward larger issues, larger economic issues, larger social issues, larger political issues, larger cultural issues. तो इस करके अगर आपने वहाँ एक साल काम किया तो it is understood and it is expected कि आप वहाँ पर लोगों को बता सकेंगे कि एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की ये प्रॉब्लम है ना, और मैंने ये फेस की, नहीं भी फेस की, तो मैंने जो भी whatever you think about that. It's your third interview?
Yes, sir. It's my
third. So first of all, I do wish and believe that you will be making it to the grade this time. But तुम्हें मैंने शायद पहले पूछा होगा, maybe some other candidate. You have to, don't tell me right now. You have to very clearly, and you must have done it already. You must have done this exercise already. पिछले इंटरव्यूज में तुम्हारे क्या नेगेटिव्स रहे, don't tell me here, but उनको पूरा कागज पर नोट करो, ठीक है ना, and recall very precisely. फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू में क्या हुआ था, मैं गलत कलर की टाई पहनने चला गया था, वहां से लेकर के then whatever shit you, and irrespective of the marks which you obtained, उस पर भी हम नहीं जा रहे हैं तुम्हारे मार्क्स फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू में कितने थे, सेकंड में कितने थे, we are not going into those details. But in retrospect, what were the issues which you faced, which could have been done better? Because nothing like self-learning, self-improvement by self-learning. Coming to your hobbies and your achievements, you have mentioned about your qualifying gate. Qualifying gate is not an achievement. Everybody who does this, you have just mentioned that I cleared the gate examination.
No, sir, I secured rank there, 967 rank.
There are people who are getting 100 percentile in gate.
No, sir, my percentile was around 790, but my all India rank was 967 among 3 lakh or 4 lakh students.
It's okay. But anyway, so gate अगर आपने लिखा है तो somebody who is from humanities background, he may not be, because other things, just kabaddi, environment, even physical fitness, powerlifting, that people board members have a tendency to go those aspects of your hobbies and areas of interest or even achievements which are obscure. So my gate क्या है, somebody who has done his humanities also. तो फिर again gate की बात हुई. Now you may of course add what you said just now, that मेरी ये rank आई ठीक है, but then gate again will bring you to larger questions. कि gate से आपने करके और masters, तो masters, that's a huge issue in our country. We are producing so many good and not so good graduate engineers, but when it comes to masters and post graduation in engineering, I'm talking about now, whether they are IITs, even older IITs, or whether they are NITs, we are not getting that kind of caliber, with those kind of people who are having that caliber. ठीक है ना, मास्टर्स की जो कमी होती है तो उल्टे सीधे इंस्टीट्यूशन से जाके अब्रॉड से करता है. why is there a huge difference? Even IIT दिल्ली या कोई भी ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पर कि अंडर ग्रेजुएट एंड पोस्ट. So despite this gate everything, why? What are the systemic shortcomings? Why are we not able to get through the scholarship? अगर तुमने किया है तो did you take admission in MTech thereafter?
No, sir. I was selected.
You got such a good rank. You didn't get good offers from institutes or what?
Sir, I got a offer. I got actually selected in IIT Delhi for thermodynamics itself, but that was a COVID period, and my father said stay for 2 years, just 2 years at home. In third year you take the admission because 3-year gate score is valid. So but later on I changed my mind and I started preparing for UPSC exam after 2022. So I did not take admission in MTech.
In a sense, Prashant, I mean again a casual conversation. In a sense, that kind of proves my point which I was trying to make. The COVID tha, that is one thing. You wanted to prepare for civil services, that is another. But IIT Delhi, you said, IIT दिल्ली में अगर यूजी पे एडमिशन हो तो हर बच्चा अपने, चाहे पेरेंट्स को भी जितनी लोन लेना पड़े, कुछ करना पड़े, दे विल सेंड हिम. बट पीजी में इट्स लाइक, चलो डिस्पाइट दिस यू आर बीइंग ऑफर्ड अ सीट इन IIT Delhi for MTech, but you didn't go. That means तुमने जाके गलती नहीं की. That means that there is something fundamentally wrong with even with the IITs as regards the teaching and exposure and caliber making of MTech students. तो ये higher education, the real ये अच्छा, if you think over it, it is not so in, let us say, in medical इसमें stream में. You do your MBBS, and in fact, unless you do MS or MD or even DM from some reputed PGI or some other institute, and that adds to your own value as well, right? As a doctor, आपने MD किया, MS किया, but engineering में क्यों नहीं? आपका MTech जो है उसको क्यों नहीं? There are people, पता नहीं आज का मुझे नहीं पता, but in our times, what happened that people who have done their BTech and MTech in India, they went to USA and then did their MS again. Because MTech was not given any value there. तो कहना मैं चाह रहा हूँ, सारी बातें इसलिए अराइज हो रही है because you have highlighted your GATE, score as well as GATE testing examination as an achievement. So that is likely to give this question. DIY, we know you do it yourself, but again having a hobby, now you need to be very factual, truthful, and explanatory in that. DIY में आप करते क्या? What kind of issues attract you in your household, in your in maintaining your father क्या कर, father is what?
Teacher, sir.
वो teacher है तो चलो उसमें तो इतना नहीं, but then again DIY का scope क्या? And why do you like DIY? Physical fitness and these things we discussed yesterday also with you, Prashant. Straight lift and all that. Chess, kabaddi you have mentioned in a very casual manner, but again be ready for searching questions on. Both of them, 50% of the candidates will write chess. Kabaddi will also be written by a lot of. So उसमें questions लोगों ने पूछे भी होते हैं, then everybody has an idea about. So that is all about your DAF, Prashant. In the next 5 minutes, you can come up with your own queries, please.
So my first query is a little bit offbeat. Like I have done a spelling mistake there in my DAF.
Where is that? क्या mistake करी?
Entrepreneur, I written it.
I did not see that, but yes, you can always say that was a typing error.
Oh, okay, sir. And I was not able to edit in the final DAF itself. Like there was some technical issue this year.
हो गया तो ठीक है. अगर entrepreneur की spelling अगर मान लो somebody puts that, तो ऐसा कोई नहीं कहने वाला. देखो, again वही बात. अगर तुमने कई बार there are spelling errors in your father's name is I think mentioned twice in the form or your university. So अगर वहाँ पर mismatch है, then people will ask me ये कैसे हो गया. But entrepreneur की spelling अगर मान लो तुमसे गलत हो गई है, तो nobody will try to put you on the mat for that. अरे you are not aware of basic English. No, they are not there to disparage you. They are not there to discourage you. Okay. अगर कोई पूछता ही है ये क्या आपने कैसे लिख दिया, you can say some typing error. I realized it. What you told me just now, that I realized it, but by the time it could not be written. Don't worry about that.
Yes, sir. Sir, my startup was also related to 3R. Like the Casify is working on that idea, but Casify is very different from my startup. So sometimes they say that you can't say. I was talking to my.
You are talking of entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My
Tell
startup.
me what it was.
Sir, it was. Yeah, it was. My startup name was 3R. Redesign, rebuild, or repair. And it was basically on the funda that I used to purchase damaged item and defective item from the sites like OLX or Just Dial. These kind of site I used to choose, and I used to replace the part of damaged item in the defective item and make the defective item working. And I used to sell that again.
I mean, you can slightly modulate it to relate with your own background of mechanical engineering. अगर आप मान लीजिए कि मुझसे एक डैमेज्ड फ्रिज खरीदा है या पुराना फ्रिज खरीदा है, रेफ्रिजरेटर जो कि 10 साल पुराना है, and you are replacing its motor, replacing its compressor or whatever and selling it, that does require mechanical engineering knowledge and in general engineering knowledge. Maybe
yes,
you could have hired one electrical diploma holder and तो इसमें तो मुझे कोई बुरी बात नजर नहीं आ रही if you are in this business.
Sir, actually, Casify from 2019 is working on a very different idea. Like Casify used to repair the items on from the new items, and I was working on the damaged and defective item only. So sometimes they say that it's not a startup idea. Like I was conversing with my
No,
friend,
then
and he
see
said that,
again. थोड़ा इसमें again I use the word modulation again and again. Modulation doesn't actually don't take it to mean कि put something dishonestly there, but you can always tailor your answer to the needs of the moment. Entrepreneur का तुमने उसमें कोई लिखा नहीं है. What I would suggest that you limit yourself to this part. Yes, I was doing like OLX. I was purchasing items which were having some defect or not running properly. With my own knowledge of mechanical engineering and with a couple of staff, mechanics and others whom I had hired electricians, I was repairing them, getting them repaired and then selling it at some profit. But later on, when COVID started, this business could not further go forward. So that will be actually a good thing that you can very well justify your 1 year immediately after your engineering, utilizing your mechanical engineering. Don't go into those details which are, contrary to this theory.
sir, I have not registered it anywhere.
No,
so
that doesn't
they
matter.
are.
No. You are not कोई ऐसा registration का. There are so many unregistered firms, so it is not required. Nobody is going to disbelieve you कि तुमने उसको register क्यों नहीं कराया. So that is why you are telling me it for lie as a.
And
Otherwise सोचो ना because when you came back to this with this detail कि मैंने उसमें I was purchasing old items and so think of that sector. Think of that sector. You take out yourself from that entrepreneur corner and think of that sector. Supposing tomorrow you are in a position, हालांकि CAPF is not meant for that, but then because of your experience, supposing you are in a position, even in CAPF, you become a DIG, and somehow you get posted in, let us say, in some ministry, in Ministry of Home Affairs itself. Let us not talk about contestation. You are in the procurement wing of Ministry of Home Affairs, right, where all these kinds of weapons and arms ammunition, they are being purchased for CAPFs. Okay, then your knowledge will be very handy there that yes, mechanically, ये वो बात नहीं है. It is not a direct application of your mechanical engineering curriculum. वो अलग चीज होती है. Because you have been a practicing mechanical engineer and that too in such a unique manner. आपने कहीं पर जैसे इसने किया विराज ने, you have not been a trainee under somebody else. Rather you have started your own business. Trying to कल को आप वहाँ जितना मैं इसके बारे में सोच रहा हूँ, it's actually a very good thing. Suppose tomorrow you are posted as an assistant deputy commandant quartermaster. In case you have done some spade work in the structure of CAPF, you will know that commandant is the in charge of the battalion, and below him there are deputy commandants. Deputy commandant, one of there is 2 IC, the second one is the quartermaster. Quartermaster does what? Quartermaster has got the entire establishment under him. Establishment not transfer postings, but the procurements, the mess, the ration, all that. So procure and maintain weapons. Maintenance of weapons, and the quartermaster actually is the designation given to the coach, as we call it, the armory. तो वहाँ पर एक आर्मोरर का काम ही होता है कि पुराने वेपन्स को, जिसमें कि अब ये थोड़ी कि एक राइफल आपकी अगर खराब हो गई उसमें इट इज नॉट फायरिंग प्रॉपर्ली, तो दैट इज कंडेम्ड. सो पुरानी चीज को नया करना, दैट इज ऑफ कोर्स ट्रू फॉर इवन इन आवर हाउस होल्ड एज वेल कि आप जितना उसको चला ले अच्छा है. बट देन इन पैरामिलिट्री CAPF दैट्स ए बिग थिंग टू बी डन कि आप कैसे हाउ यू कैन make with some adjustments or with some application of some mind, you can make the old item work as good as new. So ये मैं आपको उससे relate करने को नहीं कह रहा हूँ. Don't say हाँ अगर ऐसा हुआ तो मैं ये वहाँ पे जाके करूँगा. But then yes, that is just to fill that feeling in you that what you did was not a waste of time, right?
Yes.
What else?
Sir, like there comes sometime confusion that in my hobby I deadlifted championship. I was in category of 75 kg. However, my deadlift was 180 kg. I have deadlifted 180 kg. So that was just a category, but sometimes it created confusion in some panel member that you deadlifted just 75 kg. So that's.
So 75 kg will be your body weight or 75 kg is your
by weight criteria, sir. They choose based on the weight
My
criteria.
understanding that is true for boxing, that is true for wrestling. All these things. In wrestling, for example, you have this lightweight, heavyweight.
Yes, sir, that category.
So they are 48 kg to 53 kg, 53 kg to 54 kg. They are different, classes of weights.
Yes.
That is true for your case also.
Yes, sir.
You can very easily explain it by saying an infrared drawing, because deadlift people may not be aware, but generally लोगों की जानकारी wrestling के बारे में होती है. Wrestling is a very common sport. You can always say that is only the category of body weight. Doesn't mean that one has to give that much. What else?
Sir, that's all. Yeah, that's all, sir.
Right.
Later on, sir, if I will get any doubt, I will.
Don't be scared. You are in a better position than many others. You have the experience of 2 interviews behind you. The only thing is that experience and not getting successful, that must never act as a dampener for you. Rather, you should positivize yourself by thinking. And one very good way of doing that, in my opinion, is what I suggested to you, that you make a list of negative points. Whatever did not work, interview 1, whatever did not work, interview 2. And once you think over them and ensure that yes, this time you are not going to do the same mistakes, obviously you are, not only your thought process will get impacted, you will actually perform better than the previous 2 interviews. Right? So be very, very positive and keep on learning about all those things which were not covered here, like your current affairs, your some CAPF background, whatever I had told in my initial lectures. Please keep on doing that. And I wish you both all the very best, and remind me of your interview dates. Viraj, yours is?
Sir, mine is 11 May.
11th of May.
May, yes.
What about yours?
Sir, mine is also 11.
अच्छा चलो ठीक है. Wish you all the very best and have a happy time. Be full of confidence.
Yes, sir. Sir, may I ask one question out of the depth? Sir, actually, how to calm, like before going to the room, like when you enter the room, then
how to calm the mindset?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sometimes my mind goes like very hyper at that time, and a lot of thoughts start coming in my mind. So,
I understand your question. I can respond to that at 2 different levels. First off, I don't know ये mind blank होने वाली बात कल किसी परसों प्रदीप or somebody said. You are not the first person, and you will never be. You are not the first candidate, and you will never be the last candidate. To feel that your mind is getting blank and you don't know anything and you have forgotten anything. Right? That happens with all of us, with the best of us. Right? So पहला आंसर तुम्हारा ये पहला रिस्पॉन्स है. Second is this, that अगर ये है या नहीं भी है, तो what are the techniques to address this issue? Now there are time-tested techniques. If you are not doing it already, you spare some time for yoga, for pranayama, for meditation, for shavasana. You can't do anything else. Put whatever you believe that yes, light music or Gayatri mantra, whatever you believe in. Just listen to it for 10 minutes. It's not more than that. Do shavasana. Keep your mind free. Focus on just one bright light in your mind's eye. And you do it twice a day, in the morning, evening. That will definitely calm. Right? And try to, again, we discussed it yesterday also, that mock interviews, जितने कर लिए ठीक है, now it is coming like 10 days, 12, 15 days from now. Don't go with too much of that, because mock interviews, after a certain limit, they are going to sort of have a negative impact on your confidence level. इसलिए जितना कर लिया ठीक है. You do other kinds of practices, discuss things with your friends, discuss with your peer group. Okay, but don't go too much for the formalized. So again, wish you all with the very best, both of you, Viraj and Prashant. Do very well. My best wishes with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.